All right, so today we're gonna be making some fresh pasta dough and some variations of what we can do with that. So I'll start off by going over some of my ingredients. I have double O flour here. I think it's essential to use double O flour. It's just like lighter and it'll just give you a better quality dough. Easier to work with. Durum, some egg yolks, olive oil, and water. That's it. A few simple ingredients. I'm gonna start off by putting my flour in the bowl, in my durum. Make sure those are well mixed. Don't just like shove them in the bowl and move on. Make sure your hand in there, whatever you want. Mix it up. All right. So there's many ways to do this. A lot of people make a well on their table with the flour. I'm doing a quick and easy way that's really clean and just simple. Doing it in the mixer. So got our bowl set up, add our attachment. I start off with the paddle mixer and then I'll move into the hook. Raise it up. Start on a low speed, nothing too crazy. Don't want it flying all over the place. And then just one egg at a time. Now it's gonna look like a bunch of clumps in there and stuff like that. Don't worry, that's normal. I'm actually gonna pour my water in where my egg yolk container was. Stir it up just to get all that yolk. But before we add our water, we're gonna go olive oil first. Just a tablespoon for this. Let that mix up a little bit. And then that water. I'm starting off with 3 tablespoons. Depending on your humidity and the moisture in the air, you could use less or more. You get a feel for it as you make pasta dough at home more often. Add our water slowly. And then we'll just let that all mix until it just all comes together. All right, now everything's starting to bind and come together and form a dough. Touch a little more water. I'm gonna shut it off, lower it. And then this is the part where I'll add my hook so it starts to help me knead the dough. Dough's ready. Now I'm just gonna knead it here on the cutting board. Should only knead it for like 5 to 10 minutes. You wanna kind of fold it over and push away from yourself. And since this is a egg yolk dough, it should be a nice bright yellow to your dough. Got some flour over here just for dusting if it's a little wet. Just work that in. Cool. To get an idea as well, you want to take your thumb, pinch in there or push in there just a bit, and it should have a quick bounce back. It's not quite there yet. You want to develop some more gluten in there, so we're just going to knead a little bit more. And that's essentially what you're doing when you're kneading, is really developing that gluten, but you don't want to do too much because then it'll be really chewy when you sheet and cook your pasta. I think we're there. Awesome. Cool. And now I'm gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes, but usually you want it to sit for a whole day. That's where you'll get the best and most quality out of your dough. So we'll wrap it in plastic wrap, set it aside, and we'll come back and sheet our dough. All right, so we have our dough that's rested and chilled. I got it to room temp so it's easier to work with. Today you could use the Imperial stand sheeter, but I like to use the KitchenAid. It's a little simpler. We're gonna turn it this way for us. All right, and I'm gonna cut this dough in half just because as we sheet, it's gonna get longer and it's just gonna be easier to work with. And right now I'm just flattening it out a little bit so it just can go through this guy a little bit easier. So. And you can see from the yolks how yellow the dough is. That's really nice. That's how you know when it's really bright and rich in color. That's when you know you got a good dough. I like to run it through twice just for reassurance. And it's ideal to try to get the dough the width of the sheeter to just get more out of it, more value. So that's why I'm kind of, after I pull it out, I take my rolling pin and I'm trying to get that width a little wider. This dough here and here, I'm going to sheet just a different thickness. For this one, I'm sheeting for the chitara, so I'm going to just make sure it's a little thinner, because when you do a stuffed pasta, you kind of want the dough to be a little thicker so it doesn't explode in your water or fall apart. Cool. So we're going to cut the dough like little segments here. All right. Now we're going to do some for the other pasta. So once again, flatten it out. Make sure to turn this dial all the way back to the beginning, and we go again. And for me, how I can tell, I know I got my pasta where I want it. I can just barely see through the dough and see my fingers. That's where I want this one to be. Cool. So just like before, dust it just so it doesn't stick. And we're gonna cut it into little pieces. So I'm gonna start off by doing the agnolottis. I'm gonna stuff them with a lemon ricotta. I have some ricotta I made at home yesterday and let us drain the day before, so I'll leave a recipe for that in the description and some directions. But for now, I'm just gonna take a lemon and I'm just gonna zest it. Little seeds, little juice. And I want it pretty thick, not too runny, because I want it to hold when I stuff the pasta. Snip that at the bottom. Try to get some of that air out of there because it's going to leave pockets when we go to pipe it. Okay. So for an agnolotti, I'm going to start off by piping. Got my brush. Some water to help seal my dough off. Take that. Now you're just gonna fold it over. You just want to press it down. Make sure to seal it, push that air out. Kind of line it up. Now you're just gonna do a nice little pinch action. Turn it for the camera. I like mine a little small, so just go like this. And you want to slightly lift up, so pinch. Making sure it's tight, there's no air in there. Just all cheese. Wow, that's pretty. Now go. Cool. Now this is my favorite part actually. Just gonna seal it. And once you see it roll over like that, that's when you know you got a really nice tight seal on your dough. Now, pick out my prettiest one. See, I'm just gonna take the ends here, just ever so gently, give it a nice pinch. Make sure you look nice and pretty like that. See? Just nice pockets of ooey gooey cheesy goodness. Cool. So we made our agnolottis. Now on to my favorite. It's a very commonly used pasta in Rome, or Roma. It's kind of lost its way here, but I'm going to show you how we do it today. You can go out of your way and buy this instrument. It's a chitara, which translates to guitar. But if you don't want to go out of your way, you can totally just use a knife, try to cut it by hand. But this is going to give you a nice square noodle. So we're going to take our other sheets. All right, this here. And I'll give you guys a nice straight shot of what I'm doing. You're just going to take that sheet, set it on here. And we're literally just going to roll it right through. Cool. So it's not fully gonna come through. That's when you play your guitar. You're gonna get these nice square shaped noodles. It's gonna hold well with the sauce. Got a portion here. But now we get to make some pasta, enjoy it, eat it. With the agnolotti, I'm just gonna do like a simple butter sauce with some cheese and some veg. And with the spaghetti alla chitara, I'm just gonna do simple cacio de pepe. So just pecorino, pepper, and that's it, and some water. All right, got my agnolottis. I'm not about to drop them just yet. I wanna get my pan going. I got it getting hot. Warm. I'm gonna start off with some extra virgin olive oil, some minced shallot, some garlic. Oh. And instead of using wine or something like that to deglaze my pan, I'm just gonna hit it with some water. Over here, got some asparagus, some peas. Let those cook a little bit. Now, that's when I'll add my agnolottis. Go ahead and drop them ever so gently. Not to ruin them.
Don't say anything yet.
Once they start to float just a touch, that's when you know they're ready. Bam. in a little bit of that water. Nice heaping spoonful of butter. Let that emulsify, get down in your sauce. Cool. Have some Parmesan cheese here. Throw that in. Just gonna add a touch of water to help that emulsify and become a little saucy as well. All right, onto the plate. Kind of spreading the veg around. Grabbing some of that sauce. Cool. Some nice, pretty microgreens here. Just gonna put those over top. Of course, fresh cheese. And that's the Agnolotti. So now we'll do the Cacio de Pepe. So now we're using our spaghetti alla città to make a Cacio de Pepe. It's like a really common dish in Rome when I was there. It's what the noodle they use a lot, and like a lot of that style of pasta they serve. So that's what we're doing today. So I got my dough, or my pasta. I'm gonna drop that down. Stirring it in there. And traditionally in a Cacio de Pepe, the ingredients are literally just water, black pepper, and pecorino. That's what we're doing today. Got our pan hot. Taking the water from the pasta into the pan. Black pepper, lots of it. Let that boil a little bit. And cheese. Just let that thicken up and emulsify. Noodles are done. Tossing them into the pasta, then into the sauce. gonna wait till it gets a little thick. Oh yeah. So I only cook my noodles, I'd say about like 70 to 80% in the water. And then when I take it out, I want it to finish cooking in the sauce so it, you know, builds all together. It really holds it well. Touch, finish. Oh yeah. Cool, it's nice and thick. Go to the plate. With the money shot, Josh. All right, so now we're just gonna do a little twirl. Ready? Now we're gonna do some twirl action here. Oh yeah, that looks amazing. A little fresh cracked black pepper. And that's a Cacio de Pepe. So pecorino cheese though, just so you know, is just a young Parmesan. It's gonna be a little sharp, really salty. I honestly didn't put any salt when I was making the pasta, just because there's salt in the water when it's boiling, and that cheese is really salty, so I don't want to make it overpowering. So just a tip for that when you go to cook the pasta. All right, so that was us making pasta dough and variations on what you can do with it. Hopefully you guys find it very easy to do at home. It's pretty simple. Give this Cacio a taste. Mamma mia. That's good. See you guys later.